What's up, guys? This is your boy James, aka 68J, coming to you on this Wednesday. And we have one hell of a show for you guys today. Now, I'm doing something a little bit different today, guys, as I actually signed up to go live both on my, it was just like this added feature, and I'm trying to see if it actually worked. Let me take a look real quick. So it actually did work, so I'm a little excited about that. It's funny because before I would only stream. Let me turn my light on. You guys can tell, when the stream first started, it showed my face. I was kind of working through this new program in what I'm using to go live, and typically it was such a small little tweak that typically I would only go live on YouTube and X when I had guests on, because that was a certain feature that I thought I could only use if I choose to go that route. But come to find out, I can actually go live on both, and so that was a little bit different. I'm not used to that, but I'm really excited because I'm able to use the same format that I use on my YouTube channel. So thank you guys for being patient for the slow start. But again, you guys know we're super committed, as right now we're going to be working with, we talked about this before, I am UTV. Let me pull those guys up as well, because I like giving them their props for what they're doing. Shouts out to my man Niall. Let me make sure I get that up here real quick. See, where's Niall? Right here. Boom. And then I am UTV. So we got some cool things that we're going to be working on with those guys. And so I want to make sure I get everything set up the right way. We're going to be going live consistently, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, both on YouTube and on X now. So it will be at the same time. You guys can watch us on either platform. So I'm really, really excited about that. Okay, let's get right into it, guys. Greatest family on planet Earth, EARF. And for those of you guys who don't know what the hell that means, because, somebody might be catching this for the first time on X or on a replay, that's basically, we got a mindset, guys, where Earth, EARTH, is where we were, we go out there, we bust our ass, we work hard, they pay us just enough not to quit. We do enough not to get fired, and then we bust our ass for years and years and years of our lives to retire on a percentage of what barely got us by in the first place. And it's funny because my mother-in-law was down this weekend. Shouts out to my mother-in-law, Janet Lopez, and we were talking about that as we were walking, me, her, and my wife, and she was talking about, like, they give you nothing for retirement, nothing. And that's why it's such an incredible opportunity that we have right now with cryptocurrency, the ability to dream again. We talked about that on yesterday's stream. Why I'm so passionate about what I do. It's at the forefront of everything that that motivates me, keeping it 100, being authentic, and sharing my journey with people, which we're going to talk about here as well, in dreaming again. And that's what I think it allows us to do, cryptocurrency specifically. Because a lot of times, you guys, we just kind of accept our now instead of continuously dreaming because of responsibility or setbacks. But, we were walking with my mother-in-law yesterday, and she was talking about, we just had her 65th birthday for those of you guys who tapped in. And she was like, well, I could retire now and I only get like, 1,200, but if I wait another 2 years at 69 or 67, I'll get like, 14. And if I retire at 70, I'll get, and I'm just like, God, they just want, it's like, I think at 70, you get like 25, but it's crazy how they'll just squeeze you to your golden years to retire on a percentage of what barely got you by in the first place. So that's why I bust my ass. That's what I do, why I do what I do, so that I can help my mother-in-law and a lot of people in my family live a better quality of life. So that's what it's all about. But anyways, let's get back to it, guys. We got a hell of a show. And it's kind of cool because we're able to have the chat set up, whether you're on X or on YouTube. I'll be able to see what you're doing. So I'm really, really excited about this whole new format that I've got laid out. But shouts out to the first one on the scene, my man Anthony Wanner, the man, the myth, the Wanner. Anthony XRP Bitcoins in the house. Good afternoon, my brother Marvin Davis. That's my man Pots and Pans. Jeanette the Queen McFadden, that's my baby, guys, and I'll be sharing a picture with you guys this morning, which is what excites me about my day every day when I wake up next to this beautiful, amazing lady who's also my drug dealer. For those of you guys who don't know, she got me hooked on coffee right here. Boom. Huh? If you guys want to call the authorities, you can do that, but just, I love my wife. I want to keep her out of, but she's got me hooked on it, and it's pretty bad. Huh? Let's keep it going. Beekeeper69 is in the house. Good Lord. How you doing, my brother? Hey, crypto for life. Disco R1, what's up, family? Good to see you. Mike O, with the waving hands. I appreciate you, my brother. Mike, my best boy, if y'all didn't know that. Who else we got up in here? Disco R1. Romeo G is in the house. What's up, Romeo G? Good to see you, my brother. Huh? All right, guys, let's get right into it. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. We got a hell of a show for you guys today. Let's do this. We got market cap right now, $3.9 trillion. Guys, we're getting back to that 4, and you know what's after 4 is 5, and that means that Brad Garlinghouse knew exactly what he was talking about when he said we'll be at a $5 million market cap. Bitcoin right now flirting with that 112. It's like 111.89, 112-ish price. We got Ethereum right now at $4,500, guys. XRP holding on to dear life for that $3. Is $3 a new 60 cents? I think so. We got BNB right now, guys, at 862. Solana coming in at 207. Doge right now, huh? Department of Government Efficiency. How's that thing going? Is Elon still there? I don't know. Haven't heard much about it. It's at 22 cents, guys. TRX right now, Justin Sun, 34 cents. We got ADA right now with old Charles Hopsky at 86 cents, guys. Chainlink coming in at 24.23. Sui right now, 347. We got XLM back down under 40 cents. Good Lord, huh? Almost $3-4, not quite. It's at 38 cents, guys. AVAX coming in at 24 and some change. HBAR doing this thing at 24 cents. Litecoin. I still don't understand how Litecoin's at number 20. And it's one of the OGs, I get it. But how in the hell when the news comes on, CNBC and everything, and the crypto market is doing great. And they show like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. The number 20 coin? Really? Not the number 3? Just saying, huh? What do they got against XRP? I think, you know, they've been told, shh, because they know, huh? They know what they hold. Crow right now at 24 cents. That thing has been on fire. My God, Crow is up 72.48% in the last 7 days, 21% in the last 24 hours. Why? Well, because the Trump family, or, you know, his whole little company there, Trust, whatever he's got going on over there, decided to make a big acquisition of into Crow. So, I don't think I shared that, but if you guys go on X, you guys can see all about it. That sent Crow through the roof when that happened. I mean, obviously, we're still not in that bull market where it was at 96, 97 cents, but damn it, it's on its way. Crow, with the connection with Trump, man, that thing might hit some dollars. I'm just saying, that'd make it want to holler. Ton right now at 318, guys. We got Shiba. That's 4 zeros and 1. For those of you guys speak Spanish, cuatro zeros and a uno, huh? I know a little bit. Poquito. Let me stop. Uniswap right now, 998, guys. Almost $10. Good Lord. I would have never thought that Uniswap. It's funny because if you look back at the last bull run and prior, Polkadot always outperformed Uniswap. So Uniswap was always behind Polkadot in price. So that's crazy to see Uniswap, damn near 3 times the price of Polkadot. It's crazy. Polkadot, 387. We've got Aave right now at 324. Pepe coming in at 4 zeros and a 1. We've got, let's see what else is in here worth talking about. Near, let's make it clear. Near, huh? At 253. We got Ondo right now at 94 cents. Arbitrum. Is it going to see a bull run? I think so. 50 cents, that's 2 for a dollar. ICP is a big deal at 505. Matic, my God, huh? Matic's got some big things going. By the way, guys, always remember nothing we talk about on the show should ever be considered or deemed financial advice, for I am not a financial advisor. My name is James, aka 68J. Been in crypto since 2017, documenting my journey and the evolution of money. We started this channel about 2 years and 9 or 10 months ago, and it's been one hell of a ride. I want to thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your support. Make sure you guys go over to our Crypto for Life page. Is Crypto for Life with your boy James, aka 68J. We've had some of the most incredible interviews, guys, ever, huh? In all of crypto, guys. I mean, people like Linda P. Jones, Zach Rector, Molly Elmore, Jake Claver, you name it, they've been here. We used to do a coin a day. We've got some of the greatest and we're one of the only channels that ever had Dumbass Gary. Huh? That's right. You ever want to see Gary, Dumbass Gary Gensler? He's here. You guys got to go down to the thumbnails and find him. Good Lord. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys and all your support in a major way. Anybody else sneak up in here? DCA Crypto Dave. What's up, my brother? Good to see you. Big Bro 10. That's my sister right there. Anybody else up in here? Guys, something big is getting ready to happen. I feel it. We're going to talk about that. Algo right now is at 25 cents. VeChain doing this thing at 2 cents. Google VeChain partnerships and make you lose some sleep. Adam right now, one of the OGs in the space at 453. We've got, let's see, Bunk. You got any Bunk? I don't. What the Bunk is going on? You got any of it? Doesn't matter. It's at 4 zeros and a 2. Trump coin, huh? Still about $60, $60-something away from its all-time high. I don't know. Trump's making some moves. That thing might pop. Who knows? Currently, not doing too bad at number 55 on CoinMarketCap. We got Filecoin right now at 232. Flare. Don't you dare sleep on Flare at 2 cents. It's going to get up there again. What else we got in here? Jupiter, 50 cents. That's 2 for a dollar. XTC, the OG, in the top 100 finally because they bought that Trump card and now they're an American. For so many years, it was hard to get XTC, guys. Now they're what I think they went on Binance USA or something like that. So they finally playing in America now that old Gary's gone. They were scared of Gary. I think everybody was except for Ripple. They went out there, whooped their ass 6-0, huh? Defeated the SEC. Well, it's cool now. We got Paul Atkins. He's all pro crypto. INJ right now is at 1339, guys. We got QNT right now at 104. Optimism. We got a whole lot of it. Why? I'm going to tell you why. Because Brad was speaking at that damn summit. Brad Garlinghouse was on the right side of Donald Trump at the crypto. Anybody remember that at the White House? Huh? Brad was over there. Yeah, you damn straight. They had beef bourguignon, whatever the hell it's called. Let's keep it going. Stacks, STX, Stacks, just like the song we play here each and every day by my man Crypto Tales, no affiliation. It's at 64 cents, guys. We've got CRV right now at 82 cents. What else we got in here? GRT, that's a big deal at 9 cents, not financial advice. We've got XTZ, one of the OGs in the space, at 79 cents. Dog with hat, monkey with scarf, skunk with G-string, whatever your meme coin is, make sure you do your own research. Huh? Fart coin, good Lord. I just don't want to be the kind of guy that, and here's what's fun. I used to pick on fart coin until I went, now, I still pick on it because it's just a weird name. Like, I don't ever want to get around my friends. Can you imagine being like at a country club and you're worth millions and everyone's sitting there, what did you do? Well, I got into, Tesla early. My dad, bought Intel early and, we got 1 million stocks of Amazon. And then you're like, how'd you get rich? Fart coin. Good Lord, huh? I don't want to admit that shit. Let me stop. Good Lord, huh? Pray for me. Theta right now is at 79 cents. We got IOTA right now at 19 cents. Gala, that'll make you want to holler at 1 cent. Not quite if it gets up there a little bit. Jasmine is at 1 cent, guys. And coming in at number 100 is Sandbox. Metaverse. Gotta love it. All right, let's get right into it. Appreciate you guys in a major way. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bells. Let's get this party started right. Everyone isn't going to be happy for you guys. That's something you need to understand. And I know I say this a lot, and I think I say it because I'm living it. I'm thankful to God for all that He's given me and my wife and what we've been able to accomplish in crypto financially. There's something here that I actually posted stating that. But you got to understand, man, the more successful, it's like Biggie Small says in a song. He says, the more money, the more problems. I say the more money, the more hate, right? It seems when in parts of my life where we were struggling, we're a lot more closer to people. Or if you get sick and you post it, you get 1,000 likes and you, oh my God. But as soon as you say something positive, crickets. Everyone isn't going to be happy for you. That's the sad truth. Even though you'd be happy for them. And that's a fact. I can't tell you how many times I've had friends like Mike and many other people win and do something special in life. And I'm like, man, congratulations. Oh my God, that inspires me. But some people, huh? They get offended when you win. Huh? It's like misery loves company, right? That's the old saying they used to say back in the day. Misery loves company. Even though you be happy for them, that's why you're not the same. That's a fact. You guys got to remember that as you're navigating through people who are smiling. Huh? Make sure they're smiling and clapping when you got your back turned. I'm just saying. And more often than not, it's probably the reason they're not winning. Failing, huh, is part of the journey to success, guys. Remember that. Failure. Huh? Fall, acknowledgement, investigate, learn, understand, realign, evolve. Failing is just a necessary part of success, the journey to success. That's a fact. That's why I always say be you. Shouts out to my man Protein 40. He came out with this. He says, has anyone noticed that 95% of influencers are just parrots, parroting each other's content? Individuality has become scarce. And I agree with that, guys. And this is why I don't try to go out there and look, I'm not here to talk about anybody. That's not what I do. Kudos to all those who have built their platforms a certain way. I remember, being mentored by a lot of people in this space, reaching out to certain people, trying to figure out what they were doing. And then it was just things that I think threatened my authenticity. Like, I had a call one day with a very powerful influencer, someone I got a lot of love and respect for. And we talked for like 2 hours on the Sunday. He was like, well, the way I make my money is this, and I do pre-recorded this, and then I don't show my face, and I'm just like, that's not me. And it's crazy because the kind of money he was talking about he's making, but the problem for me was being connected. I've been, if you guys understand my background from pro basketball to owning businesses to being a motivational speaker, all the things that I've done, which is documented. You can find me all over the internet. If you look at my intro, it shows me on the suit and ties and all on stage. Well, I did that, but the reason that I love what I did, and I always say, do what you do what you love, is because it was authentic, it was real, it was live, and I could interact with people, whether it was businesses, whether it was on a semi-pro team, and all these things that me and my wife have done in our life. And so that's just who I am now. It's nothing nothing against people who do that because, that's what they do. It's the popular way to do things. And maybe at some point I will do some pre-recorded things, but live and up close and personal in your face, that's kind of my thing. So I understand what you're saying with that one, Protein 40. Now, we're going to be talking about something big is coming 2025. I don't think it's over by a long shot, guys. Look, they want you to believe that these little pullbacks with Bitcoin. I know Bitcoin right now is down. What is it like? Where's it at right now? So we're down damn near, $13,000, 12,000 and some change from our all-time high. XRP was just at 4,900 and some change. I mean, it was like right there at 5,000, creating an new all-time high. But guys, look, these little pullbacks, these little shakeouts, kind of clearing out everything. And plus, and here's the thing, guys, with these little pullbacks, it's different than back in the day. Now I'm not saying something couldn't happen that is announced or whatever, but we're very, very optimistic and very, very excited about, going into September and what that can mean. And hopefully we get some rate cuts and things like that. But when you look at the things that are set up for crypto now, when you look at the positivity, when you look at the rules and regulations, when you look at the fact that our president, our country, and the rest of the world is super bullish on crypto, we've never been here before. We've never been pre-entering a bull run. And that's why things are so different. And that's why there's so much chaos, because people are like, wait a minute, it should have happened already. No, this is different. And many people are screaming out super cycles or things like that this is different. And moving forward, things are going to be different. Things are only the same until they're not. And so, when we start getting that institutional adoption and XRP ETFs and all these different, you got, HBAR and some of these other assets, Solana, ETFs, a lot of things that are on the table, guys. As these things start happening, as we start getting more and more adoption, you got Ripple with the banking license, you got all these things that are just really pushing a narrative that there's nothing bigger than crypto right now in the world. And now those things play out, I think it's going to be absolutely incredible. And for those who are positioned now, it's going to be like Bitcoin all over again. Many people, you come into this scene or this crypto space and you see $100 and something thousand Bitcoin. You think that's where it's at. And then you hear, 4 years ago it was at 69. No, 15 years ago it was at 4 damn cents, right? And it was able to grow based off of adoption and the same thing that makes our dollar worth something. People started believing in it and the store value and all that good stuff. But as where we're at now is just totally different, guys. And digital assets are being utilized for something that is just next level. And so if you position yourself well, I think a lot of people are going to see that same Bitcoin 4 cents to 100,000. I'm not saying every coin's going to do that, but something big is getting ready to happen. And hopefully you're in the forefront of it by having yourself positioned well accordingly. Excuse me. Oh, I need some coffee. Choking. Okay, this is an oldie but goodie, guys. This is something I think is huge. Not only with Brad sitting on the right side of Trump at the crypto summit, but also, he says, I'm honored to be invited to testify. This has already happened in front of the Senate Banking Committee on Wednesday. And to me, guys, this is huge. You don't see every CEO in crypto speaking at that summit. You don't see it wasn't every crypto CEO sitting on the right side of Trump. Not every crypto CEO and their attorney was sitting there having beef bourgeois with Trump. And you see all those things. And I know a lot of people in their head, they're going, yeah, Jay, they just had that XRP card, that MasterCard that just came out with Gemini, which just soared Gemini's, position and market and all these different things. Then you heard there was something new that I have here on the stream that I'm going to be sharing. They just had something else that was going on that just kind of boosted that company and all these things. And the one thing that people keep saying, why isn't it reflected in the price? Well, we're going to get there, guys. And it's not there yet. Why? Because XRP is still very correlated with Bitcoin. And right now, Bitcoin, when it dips, we dip just like that. It's just part of the way things work. But at some point, I do believe as we continue to get that adoption, you hear Jake Claver, he just had an incredible interview with Paul Barron and Abs and all these guys. You'll see that they're all saying the same thing. As ETFs come out, as we get that institutional adoption, and we'll start disconnecting ourselves more and more from the market. But this to me is just really bullish. It says a whole lot. For people who are still, I get on X and I see people all the time. Well, and these are people that you would think when things are going great, they seem like they're the most bullish XRP people ever. The most bullish. They've been around. Oh my God, I bleed blue. Whatever. And as soon as things go bad, they're the first ones that get up and say, oh my God, what's going on? I don't understand. Why isn't the price? I was like, bro, just calm down. Like the blessing is still here. There's still, $3 is a new 50 cents or 60 cents. So when all that stuff was going on with Gary and the SEC and Elizabeth Warren and her, little hating antics and all those different things, the blessing was we were still at 50 cents for like ever, right? XRP stayed at a very, very low affordable price for 4 years and 8 months during that lawsuit. And now we're in a position where it's still correlated. It's not that anymore. This is over, but now it's still correlated to Bitcoin and other assets or the market as it's waiting for certain things to be put into effect. And so as these things are happening, the new blessing is $3. The old blessing was 50 cents, right? So I think a lot of times people don't understand that. It's kind of like, I'm not saying Bitcoin at 4 cents, but Bitcoin at $100. And people didn't understand, oh my God, it's $100, right? And that was the blessing doing all. It's battery acid. All these same people like Larry Fink and all these other guys that Jamie. Oh, if you get it, you're fired. And all this stuff that was going on, where they were just nobody wanted to touch Bitcoin. And for a long time, you could sit there and you could grab it up at $100, $500, whatever. And then there's an opportunity at 1,000, right? And people. Oh, well, I don't know if I want to buy it at 1,000. I remember feeling the same way. I was telling Mike this when I first got into crypto in 17, and it was coming down off the 19,000 or something, and it went down, and then you saw it get all the way down to like 3,500 during the whole COVID deal. But at the end of the day, I remember, getting Bitcoin at 35, and then it got to like 4, and then it's 5, and then once it got up to like 6, I'm like, I don't know if I want to buy it. But now, if you can go back and buy it at 6, 7, people go crazy. So it's just understanding the opportunity, guys, and where we're at, and appreciating this moment, because I don't think people are going to appreciate it or are appreciating it as much until it gets to, $25. And you're like, shoot. And I got something I'm going to be sharing with you guys today about that. And once it gets to 25, people are like, well, I'll just wait for it to get back down to 3. It's got to go back to 3, right? And that's the same damn thing they said about Bitcoin at 100 when it got to 1,000. It's going to go back to 100, right? Okay. Just saying. When you look at things that are in place, let's keep it going. I got more stuff here I want to share. By the way, guys, shouts out to World Be Free and Simon. They had me and my man Mike O on their stream a while back. You guys know that I've been not only an ex-pro ball player, business owner, all the things that I've done in business and around the world, but I've been in the movie industry for some time. This is our 4th film that's being finalized and finished in September by director Ryan Lamar. You guys can go find out everything about him by going over to our page. It's going to be released in Regal, and our little community coin called Shikaka is actually being written into the script. So I'm really, really excited. If you guys want to know more information about that, about the white paper, we don't shill it. We don't do any of those things. We let what's happening speak for itself, so you got to see it when it happens. But we got a hell of a team, guys. On that team, you'll find World Be Free. You'll find Keith and so many other people, guys. We got an all-star team. We got celebrities. We got NBA players, just the whole nine. So, but I don't say that to try to impress you. I say that because I was very, very excited and honored that Melissa put us on our show. And if you guys don't remember this, here it is. Let's check it out. Just a quick, what is it, couple seconds, 12 seconds? My whole mindset was, if I can believe in somebody else's opportunity, I can believe enough in myself. And I love what Mike had said to me when we first met about this. He goes, James, we've been betting on us our whole life. So why not bet on something that we believe in? And that's Shikaka. That's a fact. And so thank you so much, Melissa. If you guys want to go check out Melissa and Simon on BTHO, make sure you guys go do that tonight. They'll be live at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys, I don't know if anyone ever shouts out and gives as much love to their community and to the people who support them as I do. It's rare. I don't know how many times I've gone to other people's channels to see them shout me out the way I shout them out, but it's okay. That's all right. Well, I'm going to keep sharing and also go over and check out Abs and Good Morning Crypto, Good Evening Crypto. I love Abs. And Melissa does do that, and so does Simon, and so does Abs and Johnny Crypto. Those guys. Abs made a comment. He says 6-8 Jam Crypto for Life is one of my favorite shows. I thank you, and I love you for that, brother. Thank you. This right here came out. It says, this is what Paul Yu. It says, people ask us at Uphold for ways to earn yield on their non-POS assets like XRP. There's a few ways this can happen today. Now, he's going through some things here. I'm going to read these right here. Now, obviously I'm really, really excited about yield. I know that my good buddy Jake Claver is working on some things right now with GWP. They got some things. DWP, Digital Wealth Partnerships. Drew a blank there. And there's some things that I know that they got going with different wallets, connecting with certain people, and people talk about Caleb and Brown, all these different things. But for me, I'm really, really cautious, and I'm waiting, and I'm working, and I'm talking with people who have these things being in place or being put in place. Hopefully, I know Jake said He's probably, we're about 6 to 12 months out from having something really solid. And so I'm really, really excited. I know there's a lot of people, well, you can stake now, you can do this, but I just don't want to be the example of something, so but I'm excited to see Uphold and those guys talk about this and some of the things they're trying to do right now. He goes on to say one method is to use XRP to generate DeFi yield. This can be based on protocols that will take the XRP and try to put it to work either through borrow/lend protocols or securing some other network like Flare. The downside is rewards may not be paid in kind, points, on some other chain or are not the XRP that users typically want. So there has to be seamless redemption. Another method is bundle XRP and work with market makers who need XRP to fulfill demand on their side. The big risk here is counterparty. You need to make sure the other side has liquidity, redemption terms, a strong balance sheet. It also involves locking XRP for some term, and the yield is proportional to that risk. So, when I hear stuff like risk, guys, when I hear, I want that old school type of yield, like, you put it to work, it's insured, and you get a guaranteed percentage, whatever that percentage is, but you're not losing your XRP. It's not at any type of risk. And when that happens, I'm gonna be full throttle on board with that. So I put bring it, yield, yield, yield. Man, I'm looking forward to that. All right, let's get back here and see who's up here in the chat. We've got Carmichael in the house. It says Edward Falowski's in the house. Good to see you, my brother. Who else we got up in here? I have my November screenshots of what I said about the 10 trillion total market. Okay. $100 Crow on Dope Flare. Yeah, Crow popped out, man, after that whole little deal they did with Trump investing. When you succeed, you become the new they. It's so funny, guys. Mike O, man, thank you for saying that. Me and Mike O had a conversation. If you guys don't know who Mike O is a multi-million-dollar businessman here in California and in Vegas. We've known each other for 30 years. The guy's got a bunch of different businesses. I'm not going to call out his businesses. And he's also a crypto millionaire. He's my best friend. And we had a conversation yesterday. We had a pretty nice conversation. And one of the things we talked about is how people, it kind of goes back to what I was talking about before, people not being happy for other people's success. And there's been times I've been in this space again since 17. I've been doing the show for two years and 9 or 10 months. And I've seen people, whether it's being on other people's shows, whatever, where they low key act like they're mad at other people winning. And that to me is just so ridiculous, right? I've seen people try to make people feel guilty for winning. And one of the things that me and Mike O was talking about as two people who succeeded in this space, and again, I come from nothing. I'm gonna show you guys out here in a little bit. I'm a welfare kid from Brooklyn. But one of the things he had said, and it makes all the sense in the world, he says people hate on you until they become the they. They hate on the people who have it until they become the they. People get out there and they're like, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to look, guys, just be authentic in who you are. You don't have to hate, to seem passionate. Sometimes people are like, well, when I get money, I'm going to go out there and save the world. Now, that's something, if you guys look at our videos before we start to show our intro and our exit video, it shows me and my wife in those videos from years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, painting orphanages in Africa, feeding people in different countries. When I started this show, if you guys go over to Crypto for Life, I was sending money back to Africa live where Dr. Christian Demboy was going out buying medicine and had kids shopping, and they were like, thank you, 68J, thank you, Crypto for Life. It's all on my show. It's all here. Just go back and look at my very early videos when we first started, because I was trying to figure out which way I wanted to go with this show, right? I knew I'm going to be who I am, which is authentic, keep it real, don't shill, don't bull crap anybody, and always be me. And I think I've done a pretty good damn job of that. But it's just funny because you'll have people that feel like they need to do that or talk down on, well, if I had it, I would do it, and I've even had people made me feel guilty for not doing something. Oh, God, I wish I could do it. And I can't afford to go here, and I can't afford to go to XRP Las Vegas, whatever the case may be. And it's like, bro, like, you don't look, man, your time is coming. We all sat around in that same mindset. I have not been winning my whole life. I shouldn't say that. I've been winning my whole life, but there's been a lot of valleys, a lot of down. My wife is here. She's in the stream. She can tell you. There's been some times, and I told one of my good friends that called me the other day. I said, man, I had some moments where I didn't know how, rent was going to get paid at certain times. So, life can, be like that. I got a lot of friends who are millionaires that said they failed 3 or 4 times before they even made it. I mean, fell hard. I remember this guy in California where we came from had one of the biggest gyms. At one point, I saw him driving like a Bentley, a Rolls and all this, had a big mansion. And the next minute I saw him on the 10th speed. I'm like, yo, what the F is going on? And he goes, man, I had to file bankruptcy. I lost everything. This, that, divorce, and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, what? And then I saw him a little later. He got it all back times some, like times 10. I'm like, what? So just understand your time is coming. There's no reason to hate on people. But I love what Mike had said at that time. And he has said, it's funny because at some point, those who are talking about they will become they. Right? You'll become they. You'll become that person who has that money. And I always say money only magnifies who you are, because I've seen people who in my life that would talk about, I'm going to do this when I get it. And they didn't do any of those things. What they did is what everybody else typically does who selfishly gets money, like, oh, and it's just, it's me, myself, and I. That's typically what I've seen. And I've been around celebrities. My life is a little bit different than most, and I'm not trying to say Mike O knows me, John Sing's known me for 40 years. I got some people here who know me for a long, long time, and they know my circle, and they know what we've done from basketball and everything else, and movies and everything else. But some people are very giving. You'll be shocked. It's almost like the people who you think are stuck up and selfish are giving as hell, and the people who you think are giving are typically very stuck up and selfish. It's just funny how that works out. But let's move on. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, big money tweet about everything else, but not XRP. Why is it that big money always seems to tweet about Bitcoin, about Ethereum? They'll tweet about everything. They'll tweet about Solana. They'll tweet about whatever. I mean, I don't see too many people tweeting about BNB. I'm going to keep it 100. But you never see them openly tweet or admit any involvement with XRP. And I think that's the part that's exciting. I mean, at first you're like, well, God, why is that? But I said, the answer is why I'm bullish. So it's like big money tweet about everything else, but not XRP. Why? I said, the answer is why I'm bullish as hell on XRP. The answer. And you're like, what is the answer, Jay? When you figure that out, you'll position yourself accordingly. And there's so much out there. There's so many ways of connecting the dots to see what's going on. But it's incredible, guys. What's getting ready to happen is incredible. It's like it's right there. They just don't want you to see it. It's like right there, but they don't want you to see it. Many will call us lucky. Huh? But we know. I put B, we know. Good Lord, huh? Somebody needs to, proofread. That's me. You can't get back the time you spend trying to be someone else. Always be you. God dang it. I got to make sure. You know what, guys? I'm going to delete this. Sometimes I don't go back and I don't proofread myself. Like, I got to proofread what I'm putting out. Good Lord. Huh? I do that all the time. Like, you're texting fast on your phone and you don't proofread everything. It's like, damn it. That don't even make no damn sense. And I text it. Okay, mindset. If you believe it, you can achieve it. To all the future crypto millionaires, your time is coming. Be sure to appreciate the small things in life. That's a fact. Be sure to appreciate all those moments. And that's something I learned from I was very fascinated with Steve Jobs in his journey. And I remember in his last days, I posted on my Facebook many, many years ago when he had passed away. And he was talking about how, people had admired him for all the things he did and all the success and innovation and all this and that and all the money. And he goes, but man, I missed it. He goes, I missed it. Friends, family, moments. I missed it. And I'm like, wow. That was profound to me. And that really impacted me in a way where this little conversation I had with my wife, and I said, honey, that's why I said, it's crypto. This is the way I'm going, because I'm not willing to sacrifice any more of my time doing traditional businesses and things that I was doing. Okay. XRP highlighted as compliant for world banks. Just in, shouts out to my man Smoke. I love sharing Smoke content because he always follows it with documentation. And my motto, documentation beats conversation any day of the week. Just in August 2025, Basel Committee letter highlights XRP as a Group 2A liquidity compliant crypto asset for global banks. If you guys want more information on this, I know that I saw a comment in here where people were saying, what did this guy say? It was pretty interesting. I think it was this guy, David Jones. He said, if crypto is classified as a Group 2A liquidity compliant, it means the crypto asset passes certain risk tests, e.g. being tradable on robust regulated markets, having reliable pricing data, not being excessively volatile related to liquidity. Banks can recognize it in their liquidity coverage ratios, LCRs, to a limited extent, meaning they may count it toward meeting Basel's requirements for liquid assets. However, it still falls under Group 2. So banks must apply higher capital charges than for traditional assets. Still capped, cannot exceed 2% of banks' tier 1 capital and total crypto exposure. So basically what this guy was saying here is to qualify as Group 1 is what they should be looking at. So that was very interesting. If you guys are interested in going in here, reading that. I don't just post things, but actually go in and read the comments. So that was very interesting what this guy put out. Let's move forward. We want to stay within our hour, guys. Again, if you guys don't know, we've got some things going on with IMU TV. Looking forward to working with Nile and what those guys are doing over there. They've got where they're streaming on Roku and Amazon Fire TV, along with some things they're working on right now, for what I'm being told by Lyle, with Apple TV. So I'm really, really excited to be working with those guys moving forward. All right. So this right here, guys, it says inspiration of the day. It's not how you start, but it's how you finish. And I always tell the story, guys, that, I want to have this little bit of to kind of get people to say, like, there's a time some of us in this chat, like myself, Iron Man, Griff, I can't think of JC, a lot of us that started in 17 together. I remember having those conversations like, damn, man, is it really possible to make this money and this and that? And I fell down. I lost everything when I first got into crypto because I had to learn the 5 steps, which I had to, come up with that myself. I didn't have any help, which was obviously having a plan. I didn't have a plan when I first got in. I just, I flew back to Spain. You guys know the story. The guy sat me down and kind of told me everything. I'm not going to go through that story again. But is when I first got introduced to Bitcoin. I jumped in. It was coming down. I thought, buy the dip. I was buying it at 16,000 because, got up to 19, 16, 14, 11, 10. I was like, damn it, what's going on? All my money's... I freaked out, got pissed off, and then I realized I need to come with a plan, and that plan was, the 5 steps to success for myself. This is not for anybody else, but for myself. And it was, number 1, have a strategic plan. A strategic plan meaning that, things can change, situations can change, companies can go out of business, like Celsius, Luna, FTX. So you got to have a strategic plan. Number 2 is do your own research. Don't predicate any of your investments based off of what someone else is saying. That to me is not smart. This is your journey. I always say the years of your life is the chapters in your book, and or the years of your life is the chapters in your book, and every verse is each month that you're alive. You control the pen, and so that's why it's so important to do your own research, because no one else is accountable for your success in this space. So number 1 is have a plan. Number 2, do your own research. Number 3, control your emotions. I can tell you guys right now, one of the biggest trades when I first got in, I started off as a trader. I was learning. I took courses. This is how I met JC, Aaron, and a bunch of other people. And I remember being in a trade, and I was like, and this is when, if you guys remember when Polkadot did that redenomination. At one point, Polkadot was $300. I don't know if a lot of people remember that. And Polkadot had a lot of support from people in like Japan and China. They love Polkadot. And Polkadot was at $300, and they decided to do that redenomination. I think it was 1 for 100. And it ended up going down to $3. And that night before it went to $3, I jumped in. I was like, oh my God, here we go. And I put a substantial amount of money in. And all of a sudden, I went up and I saw 200-something thousand in profit, and didn't have a plan. Didn't really do a lot of research on Polkadot. I just knew it was going down there. I did enough just to make that decision. I got emotional. It took off, and me and my wife Jeanette's in here in the stream now. We cheered and we all danced. Oh my God, I found it! This is it. And I woke up the next damn day and it went down 100 and something thousand because I didn't take profit and I didn't know what was going on and I didn't understand it was just kind of cooling off and people were taking profit and I freaked out and I jumped out and I made some money. And then all of a sudden, I was mad because I left like 100 grand on the table. And then all of a sudden, the damn thing went up, and I would have it went up to like 50 whatever dollars, and it would have been like a $1.6 million deal for me. So that was an emotional bad situation because I let my emotions get a hold of me. So remember, again, the 5 steps to success for me is have a plan, do your own research, control your damn emotions. Do your research, control your if you do enough research, it will help you control those damn emotions. Number 4 is take profit. And then number 5 is focus on your why. And we talked about that. I'm going to continue to say that till I'm blue in the face. Those are the 5 things that's helped me get to where I'm at now in crypto. It's very important. And then I also came up with the 70-20-10 dollar cost average in and dollar cost average out. And that's a whole nother video. If you guys are interested in that, go over to our Crypto for Life page. It's not financial advice. I just shared some of the things that I learned and implemented along the way to get myself to the position I'm in. I said, don't focus Don't let them scare you out. Out of your bags. And so here's a picture of me, guys. This was in the hood. This, you can see our table was so, oh God. Yeah, our table was worn, messed up. You know, we could barely afford haircuts and clothes. Most of my life was on welfare. But if a kid who was, not only that, I put here, I think I went past this part that says, it's not how you start, but how you finish. I went from special ed to college. I was a badass kid, man. I used to get in fights all the time. I went from special ed to college, honor roll student. I went from welfare to and food stamps to millions of dollars, thankfully because of crypto. Never allow your current situation dictate what God has in place for you. We were created to thrive, dream, and succeed. Haters will hate on this, and I know they are, and they will, and that's just the way it is. I've put one time that I had COVID and got damn near 500 likes on X. So haters will hate. That's just part of it. No one's ever going to cheer for you for your success, but when they get there, they'll understand it. That's just the way life is, and this is exactly what me and Michael was talking about. But this kid from the hood, ghetto in Brooklyn, New York story. I hope this kid from New York story can inspire someone out there. That yes, you can. Stay focused. Don't let them scare you out of your bags. We're almost there. And so I shared the old picture of me. I shared the food stamp that I still carry in my wallet. Is right here next to me in my bag. It was my motivation because I was the kid that had to go down. I hated it. I was the oldest kid of my mom. She worked so much, so she had me. I would go down and pick up the government cheese, the welfare, and all that crap. I hated it. And here's a picture of that food stamp right here. You can see it. Still it's in my checkbook. I carry it every day. I grabbed that picture obviously offline, but it just gets you guys to understand. It's my journey. Not everybody has the same journey, but I know some of you guys could probably relate to your struggle. And then it's one of my wallets. Not everything I have, but it's one of my wallets and what crypto's done for me and put me and my wife in a position that win. So God is good. Stay focused. It's not to brag. It's not to impress you, but to impress upon you. For anybody who's doubting, for anybody who's gone through it, for anybody who's going through a struggle, guys, trust me, I did so much. I bought every coin I could until I figured out you don't need everything. And I think Jay Claver said it best not too long ago. It was either Jake or it was, it might have been Jake. It might have been, oh God, I can't think who it was. It might have been Jake, might have been Lewis Jackson or somebody like that. But they said, you don't need everything. You don't got to go out there and try to own every coin. Every coin. And I used to talk about a lot of coins, and it wasn't to shill the coins. If you guys go back, remember, I was doing a coin a day. We were doing a coin a day. Then we started doing a coin a week. We had some of the biggest interviews. We had people coming on talking about various assets from different projects. But here, as I've been in this space now since 17, I've learned that, the hype cycles are over. The over promising and undelivers. All the scams are getting weeded out, and they will continue to get weeded out as regulatory clarity and things are being put in place. But we're getting ready to go into a utility cycle, and hopefully you've positioned yourself accordingly. There's still time. There's still so many assets out there that you can position yourself with. There's a bunch of great ones out there. I'm not a financial advisor, but when you think about your XRPs, obviously XLM, XDC, HBAR, Algo, IOTA, there's a bunch of them out there. And I know we'll talk about my this and talk about that. No, I'm not going to talk about. I talk about what I want to talk about because I think that even though there's a lot of potential projects and a lot of people that we're going to do this, and people get caught up because there's a bunch of zeros, you got to focus in and understand what's going to happen right now, what's coming right now. Look at who they're paying attention to. And even if they don't want to come out and say XRP. Look at the people, the XLMs, the HBARs, the Algos, these companies that are out there, and there have been submissions for the ETS and all these different things. And just look, guys, connected. That's what's so fun about when I was an entrepreneur, and I'm still an entrepreneur, but when I was coming up as a business guy, I was fascinated. I was intrigued. I was obsessed with the fact that I could. I was like, what? I could? I can win? I mean, as soon as I changed this and I start realizing it wasn't, my life, even though I was born into poverty or put in a situation of welfare, whatever, that didn't have to be my story. And so as soon as I realized I could, I was obsessed with finding out how is this possible? And it led into 98% of my life being a business owner and entrepreneur. And we've done some pretty amazing things. And I'm not gonna get into that because that's not what this is about. It's not about me. It's about getting you to understand that it can be you. And so, yeah, go out there, guys, do your research, do your due diligence, connect the dots, and put yourself in position before this thing pops, because there's going to be another Bitcoin moment. There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people that I've met now that I'm in this space, because it's kind of like when you're not into something, you don't know who's in it, but when you're in it, everybody starts coming. I'm like, whoa, and you start meeting these people who have been around. I met guys who got into Bitcoin and had, this one guy I met, he had like 500 Bitcoin. And he had sold when it was in the hundreds to pay rent and bills and do some things and investments. And I remember the conversation he had. He goes, man, I messed up. There's a lot of people who feel like they missed the boat. They shoulda, coulda, woulda. They never saw 10,000. They never saw 20,000. They never saw $100,000 Bitcoin. And so all I'm trying to tell you guys is that's why it's so important to have those 5 steps of success, or finding your own 5 steps of success, because I'm not a financial advisor. Again, mine is have a plan, do your research, control your emotions, learn to take profit, and stay focused on your why. Why are you doing this? Number 5 is, it's so big to me. Why? If your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough, and that's my family. So you'll figure it out for yourself. All right. At some point, you have to start caring about yourself more than others. This is so true, guys. Look, win, and then you can go back and help others. And this is so important, because a lot of times, guys, what happens is, and I don't know if you guys have done this. I did this early on in crypto, and I stopped doing it. Me and Michael talked about this too yesterday, is where it seems like you want more for the people you love and care about than they do. They're so stuck in that. And again, this is not talking about bad about people who are programmed, who they're, it's like that financial slave-driven mindset, right? I'm going to go out there and I'm going to work, and I got me a truck, and I got me a this, and I got me a that, and I go golfing on the week. And that's cool if that's all you want, right? But even in the process of me being able to accomplish those things, and me to travel the world and all the things, it still wasn't enough, because my biggest thing that I learned from my mom, who died with a broken heart at 53, to depression, my dad, who died at 62, chasing money, chasing success, is they didn't leave anything for anyone, right? Except for a bunch of heartache and pain. And so, and I love them to death. They were great, especially my mother she was an angel. But I wanted to make sure I wanted to change that genealogy curse, that generational curse, should I say, of just, of having that mindset. I want to do things today that other people won't do in order to have the things tomorrow that other people won't have. It's something that I learned from Les Brown. And so, and that is leave something that my family can say, man, dad, grandpa, or my brother, or whoever did something when he got into crypto in 2017 to 2025, 26, whatever. And by 2030, he had put us all in a position where we will never work. That's everyone has a different goal. That's my goal. And my wife is, who's here right now, we don't sit around talking about what we can do for us. When we get to millions of dollars, no, we're there. We're there now. But it's what can we do when we get life-changing millions, when we can go out there and bless. I got an ABC. Everyone has a thing, but mine is ABC. A, my kids, wife, and immediate family. B, or, the distant family and siblings. And then C is charities and other people, and how can I impact and change and make a difference in this world and in other people's lives. So everyone's going to be different. That's just something I'll share with you guys, and let's move on. Okay, got a lot to talk about, but we need to hurry up and get up out of here. Dom and Phil, $1,000 XRP Explained. The road to $1,000 explained by Dom and Phil on a Paul Barron show. I'm gonna have you guys check this out. It's only what is this? It's not that long. Let's check it out.
You had, I think it was $1,000 price thesis. Was it based on the Swift model starting to shift, the growth of the XRP ledger, or potentially the growth of stablecoin, or kind of a combination of all?
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting question, and a lot of people asked for the sort of more detailed explanation, which I'm currently working on sort of putting out. But I think for the purpose of this, at a high level at least, it's a combination of all of them. Obviously, Swift is a big component, but then a lot of it is actually driven by the use cases that we're actually seeing on the ground, in person, in real life. All of these incredible projects that are coming out and actually utilizing the XRP ledger in different ways. Obviously, DeFi and finance are a huge, use case. But then also, like I was talking about before, billions and billions are transferred internationally from, people in the US to people abroad, both in terms of business, remittances, but then also in terms of charity, and all sorts of use cases. And ultimately, when those applications really start to get used on an institutional level, that's really where you start to see not only more activity on the XRP ledger, obviously a huge, multiple times explosion, but also you start to see people focused more in terms of just, retail, looking at the tech underlying it. That's why companies like NVIDIA, for example, have seen, 1,000-fold increases in the price, is because, retail start to come and they start to see, AI is really taking off now. What's the best way I can actually invest in that? It's through, the products that NVIDIA makes.
And by the way, guys, my chat, I didn't even refresh my chat. Shouts out to Ivan Hernandez. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the shouts out. Big Bro 10 said yes in the beginning. What else we got in here? I for some reason, I thought people stopped responding. I didn't realize the chat was still going. I just upgraded my system, guys, so I didn't see that. The true meaning of living is giving. That's a fact. That's a fact. Montana, good to see you, my brother. DCA Crypto Day. Big Mike, Purple Hands, peace. BQ69, hit the like and subscribe. Appreciate you, my brother Mike O. Big Bro Hand. Shout out to Brooklyn. Shouts out Frankie. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you, my man. Protein 40. What's up, 68? What's up, my brother? Appreciate your feedback on X. Edward Franlowski, my brother. Good to see you, my man. Who else we got up in here? I have my November screenshots. Okay, so I already got past it. Okay, here we go. So we're back on track. All right, let's finish this up.
So ultimately, I think, that's going to be a really interesting part of the whole story is when, those sort of 93% of people, obviously, less accounting people who don't have access to the internet, etc. But, that huge proportion of people who don't currently own crypto come into the space and, figure out that XRP exists.
So and you've got the...
I think when the masses, when the masses get it, guys, and that's what's so cool. Like, we always talk about, and I don't know if I would say joke, but we always point out bring up the point that the masses, the big money, the Larry Finks, I showed you guys on yesterday's stream where Charles Gasparino asked him, he said something along the lines in that interview. He goes, well, what about an XRP ETF? He said, I can't answer that. Not won't, not no, we're not. I can't answer this. And he goes, plus you don't want me to. He goes, no, I do. And, so when you look at things like that and you look at the fact that Trump's initial response was putting XRP up on Truth Social as the first American asset, XRP, ADA, Solana, and then he went back 15 minutes later and put up Ethereum, Bitcoin, and now it's just crickets. And most people are like that. Most people don't want to admit, then all of a sudden you see something like Gemini. So I just think that what you're seeing with Gemini and the XRP MasterCard, it's just the beginning. I mean, I saw some people post, well, how come we didn't move because of that? Look, exchanges offering XRP, MasterCard, it's not it. That's not going to do it. It's not, XRP wasn't created for that. So once it's utilized and implemented for what was actually created to do, these ETFs and the 1,700 NDAs and all these different variables that are out there as far as use cases for XRP, then and only then will the price move. What did Brad say? 14% of SWIFT, which a lot of people feel like that's very, 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 what's the word I'm looking for? A very low number, very, very low number. So as these things continue to play out, guys, we'll start seeing this price move. So if you guys are interested in this interview with Paul Barron, it was very, very good, very, very good interview with Dom and Phil, those guys over at EZA, very, very smart and brilliant guys. Make sure you guys do yourself a favor. I think Paul just posted this on YouTube. Go check it out. I want to hear it because I'm getting at my 1 hour, and I told you guys I'm cutting off at an hour. So that part that says, fact, if you don't love yourself, you'll always be chasing people who don't love you. That's a fact. Most still don't get it, just like they didn't get it when this was the case for Bitcoin. And what am I talking about? It says right here, Crypto Basic put this out. It says, update, the XRP Rich List shows only 2,396, basically 2,400 XRP is all you need to enter the top 10%. Have you ever been in the top 10% of anything, especially globally? And I think those numbers might actually be off because there's a lot of people who have multiple wallets. So even if this was right, which I don't think it is, because I think, even people like myself and many others have multiple XRP. Some people have 10, 20, wallets they move assets through, and, they keep that, that 1 or 10, whatever it is, XRP. So it counts as a wallet. But the fact that they're saying all you need is 2,400 to be in the top 10% is pretty cool. So these are some new numbers that came out, guys. You guys see me share this often. Being the top 10%, being the top 5% is 8,000. Low over 8,000, being the top 4% is just over 10. Top 3%, 15,642. Top 2%, 25,000. Top 1%, 50,000 XRP, which is crazy because my daughter, my youngest daughter, boyfriend, I always talk about that, has like 50,000 plus XRP. And that's crazy for a 25-year-old guy to have that. It's crazy, 1%. I got to call him and say, man, you're in the top 1%. So that's pretty cool. So wherever you are, wherever you get in where you fit in, I don't care if you got 10 XRP, if you hold on to it long enough, it could be a blessing. But again, I said most people don't get this, just like they didn't get it when this was a case for Bitcoin. Now they're telling people that Bitcoin, if you get 0.1 Bitcoin, there's actually people. I saw this interview with Da Vinci J here on somebody's show. The guy was like, if you get 0.1 Bitcoin, you could become a millionaire. I'm like, I mean, and it's not that I'm saying they're wrong or right. I'm just saying, man, that's crazy. I'm sorry. I'm not into the 0.1. I'm into, getting it while the opportunity's there. And I think that's where exactly we're at, even at a $3 XRP and other assets, not just XRP. There's a lot of them out there. Will make them rich someday. Okay, let's move on. Almost at that time. The next chapter of your story will be life-changing, guys. I do agree with that. I wanted to share this, guys. This is funny. This is this morning. I woke up, and this is literally how my wife greets me every morning. Every morning she wakes up, and I put, guys, I know you don't care. I don't care if you don't care, but I just wanted to share it's a special moment in my life. And I said, wealth, money can't buy. This is wealth that money can't buy. And what I mean by that is, appreciate the little things, appreciate the moments, appreciate those times that you can't, oh man, life, when you really look at it in its entirety, life is so short. And I love what Denzel Washington said, when he says, you'll never find a U-Haul following a hearse. You'll never find a U-Haul. So all the crap you think you want and all this and that and everything else, man, enjoy the moments. Enjoy the moments. Be grateful for what God has already blessed you with. Shouts out to my beautiful queen. Everything else is a bonus. Crypto, money, success, it's all a bonus. It's all a bonus. Family, that's what's important. This Christmas, guys, I expect a lot. I know Jake Claver doing some crazy numbers out there. $1,000 by, whatever. I think they've agreed to like $750 in the bet that him and this other guy had. XRP will see $750 by January. I don't know if that's the case. I'm not here to say it is and it's not. He did say everything has to be put in place. Like a lot of things have to line up for that to happen. You see, Dom and Phil over at Easy A said that their number is 1,000 by 2030. Whatever that is, whatever that number is, I do believe that something big is going to happen in October when these ETFs launch. I do believe there'll be some things put in place. And when that happens, guys, I think everyone's going to have an epic Christmas. Matter of fact, I'm so excited about XRP Las Vegas next year. The two XRP Las Vegases ago, we got there, it was like 50 something cents. Last year we got there, it was like what, $3 or something like that. This year. And then the next bull run, I'm sorry, not the next bull run, the next XRP Las Vegas event next year. Hey, we could be at a totally different situation. Stay strong. Things aren't always what they seem to be. This is kind of a reminder, guys. I know, in moments, things that I don't want to, I'm going to take the sound off because I always get in trouble with sound. The last couple of videos I've had little things like this with sound, and they've been red flagging me. I had to go in there and like fix it so I'm taking all the sound off of certain things. But a lot of times we look at how, this is what we see. Things are going down. Oh my God, what's happening? XRP, what's happening to Bitcoin? And you really don't understand the bigger picture. If you look at the things that are in place, if you look at all the things that are in place right now, and the fact that we're in the most bullish time ever in crypto since the first time that it ever came to light and started. This is the most bullish time ever in crypto. Our president, our government, the SEC versus what it was, 10 months ago under Gary Gensler, Elizabeth Warren's hold, everyone around the world. I don't think there's anything, me personally, I don't think there's anything bigger. And I know, you always have somebody stupid too. Like, God is bigger. God is bigger. Dude, I've posted stuff like this on X. And man, I don't even know what to say other than people are just stupid. I think it's one of, and I don't mean this to be disrespectful, but I call a spade a spade. I always say the greatest thing about crypto is anybody can do it, just like certain things in life. And the worst thing about crypto, anybody can do it. So you get a lot of idiots out there, and I've posted things like that too, where I'll say, this is, there's nothing greater than crypto, nothing, and they'll be like, well, God is greater. Like, what? Jesus Christ. Anyways, guys, back to the stay strong. Things aren't always the way they seem. And here's a little video of that. You might think it's going down, only to continue up to the upside. And so, I thought that was pretty cool. You're one of one. That's your power. That's your flex. You're one of one. I know I'm over an hour. I'm trying to keep this thing under an hour because of the things that I got going on with IMU TV. So I'm gonna get out of here in the next couple of minutes. Don't be a pessimist. It can be costly, right? XRP. So you look back in 1994? Email won't work. Nobody's gonna use email. It's stupid, huh? That's what they said in 94. In 99, they said the internet won't work. It's stupid. No. It's funny because I remember when I started my cell phone stores back in, oh God, it was in the 2000, in the early 2000s. And I had a chain of cell phone stores in California, one of many businesses that I had. And I remember when older people would come in and when smartphones, I was very intrigued with phones, Nextels and all these things, walkie-talkies and all that. And then they came out with smartphones. And I remember when they came out with smartphones, a lot of elderly people walk in, I'm not going to use that. I'll never use that. And I remember sitting down with clients and just going, let me kind of show you what it does. And I started FaceTiming people, other cell phone providers and other, we had friends that were out of the state. And I'm like, watch this. What if you could call? I said, and I would tell them, I said, do you have a sister or a loved one that's not here? Oh, yeah, I have my sister Doris. I haven't seen her in 15 years. And I said, well, what if you could see her face to face? And she's like, huh? And I put on FaceTime and I would show them. And it started slowly but surely changing people's minds. And so obviously now everyone's adopting and they love the technology. But I remember just times where people's mindset was so negative. Oh, I'm never going to do that. Oh, screw the internet. And then 2009, Netflix won't work. This is Blockbuster. That's funny. I think that's what's on the guy's head. People want that homegrown, walking in, get some popcorn over the counter, and buy a DVD or VHS. Yep, that's over with. And now they're saying XRP won't work in 2025. Those in the banking systems who, if you guys ever want to know that story, because people say, oh my God, yeah, but it was in litigation for 4 years and 8 months. Yes, it was. Go watch Rick from the Start by Fruition Productions, and maybe you'll get a clue. Facts. Yo, do your own research. That's it. DCA, baby. Dollar cost average. You know it. Shouts out to Fishing with Camo Joe. Jose, good to see you, brother. David Perez. God did. Facts. God always did. Study, I'm not going to do that. I don't know nothing about Joe Coin. Maybe it's good, but I don't show stuff on here. Yo, Crypto for Life in Chicago. Greatest family ever. My sexy baby. Love you so much. Thank you for your support. All right, let's keep going. Great things take time. Stay patient. That's a fact. I'm going to run through these quickly, guys, because I'm over an hour, and I'm trying to keep my stream and my live within an hour. I've been doing good the last couple of days, and not so good today. That's all right. We'll get back on track tomorrow. Like with Gemini and their newly launched XRP MasterCard, everything that partners with XRP seems to have immediate price appreciation / growth. This right here says, just in publicly traded Link Logis, if that's how you say it. Is it Link Logis? Is that how you pronounce that? Share price up to 23% in the past 24 hours after unveiling its partnership with who? XRP. Didn't something very similar like that happen with Gemini? Guys, let me tell you, the thing that they laughed at is going to just wait. And by the time it becomes a household, by the time that CNBC has it up there with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, by the time you see all those things coming to fruition, guys, good luck with that one. We'll see if it's at $3 then. Somehow, someone asked me, how much XRP do you have? My reply was 1 million drops and none of your damn business. How about that? 1 million drops. If you guys know, 1 million drops in one XRP. So I only admit it to one XRP. So when they said, how much XRP do you have? I said 1 million drops times none of your business. That's a fact. That's funny as hell. I didn't think a lot of people got it. And then when I posted it, people started liking it. It was kind of funny. Okay, so here's this Link Logis, if that's how you say it. A leading Chinese fintech firm announced a strategic partnership with Ripple to bring its supply chain worth billions onto the XRP ledger. The integration will enable the circulation and cross-border settlement of assets backed by real-world inflows and outflows. This partnership happening from within China is an industry first, demonstrating industry pull towards Ripple's XRP ledger and tokenization services. Big things are happening, guys. It's happening. For the average investor, top 5 crypto assets. And I put this out and I reposted it. It says, getting a bag of BTC right now, probably not happening. A bag at 100,000, probably not happening. Getting a bag of Ethereum, not likely. Not at these prices. A big ass bag, not at $4,500. Getting a bag of BNB, very pricey. Hey, it's possible. At almost $9 a pop, can you get a big old bag? I guess some will, some probably can. I don't know. Getting a bag of Solana right now. Let's see. Current price of Solana is $203. A big bag, depends on where your bank account's at, I don't know. But getting a bag of XRP is still very affordable until it's not. That's a fact. All right, guys, shouts out to Smoke. Right here, you put BIS statement aligns perfectly with XRP. Bank of International Settlements, let's check it out. 2 minutes.
With all that in mind, how do we deal with this issue of exchange rates and interoperability? How do we get these digital currencies to really just talk to each other? Yeah, that's a great question. And I think when we talk about interoperability, we can see it at least in 3 different levels. So the first level is how we manage domestic interoperability. So how we generate this digital currency solution and make this speak with the other things that are out there in a little bit in the idea of generating a platform so that everyone can connect to that platform and take advantage of the huge network externalities that we can get out of there. The second level is how do we manage cross-border transactions, even within the same currency.
How do we manage cross-border transactions? It's so funny because when you look at a lot of these interviews and these people on these platforms, and you see a bunch of them, it seems like they're describing XRP Ledger, and Ripple without saying it. Now, when they're talking about these things, I don't know, do you know of anything else that does these things? It's like they'll talk about it, they'll define it, they'll get into everything, other than saying Ripple and XRP, and we get it. I'm sure they're all following the same narrative, huh? Keep it quiet until we don't. All right, if you guys want to hear the rest of that, make sure you guys go check it out. I'm trying to stay within just over my hour. Let's see here. What else we got going? I'm not going to get into that because that might not be politically correct. I'm not going to talk about that. Here, let's see. Okay, let's see. I think that's it, guys. We're going to get up out of here. We're over an hour. I appreciate you guys in a major way. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys go over to our Crypto for Life YouTube channel. Now our lives are streaming not only on YouTube, but on X at the same time. So you can also go over to our X page. And if you refresh this, you'll see that you can also watch this on X live each and every day as well. As you can see, we're live right now. Okay, so I appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, notification bell. Let me give some love to my family. DCA Crypto Dave, good to see you, my brother. Orishango is in the house. Bullish Bird is in the house. Silver Days XRP, DCA Crypto Dave. TJ Patterson, good to see you, my brother. Fishing with Camo Joe, my beautiful queen. And Jeanette, love you too, my baby. DCA Crypto Dave, already said that. Who else is in here? Jose, good to see you, brother. Dave Perez. Joe Coyne is in the house. We got Ivan Hernandez. Big Bro 10, good to see you, sis. Montani, you're right, brother. Huh? True meaning of giving. Of living is giving. That's a fact. Michael, one of my best boy. Frankie is in the house. Shouts out to Frankie. Give him some love for Brooklyn. Protein 40, my man. Good to see my brother. Edward Frolowski is in the house. Who else we got up in here? Guys, I appreciate you guys. Love you guys in a major way. Anybody else? Let's see who else up in here. All right, guys, that does it. We'll appreciate you guys in a major way. Make sure you guys tune in. We go live Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and look forward to us also being live. I don't know if it's live or recorded, but look forward to us being on Roku, Amazon TV, and also on Amazon Fire Stick TV. Is that what it is again? Let me look at this real quick. Oh, sorry. Amazon Fire TV, Roku, and soon to come, Apple TV. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys mañana. Until next time, it's your boy. Wait a minute. You know what, guys? You know what I almost forgot? I almost forgot to play our damn theme song. Crypto for Life, Chicago Coin Family, XRP Army. I don't care if we're over an hour. There's no way I'm getting out of here without playing Tell's song. Here we go. Greatest family on planet Earth. EARF. This is for you. Woo!
This one, does it like it is. Got them switching gears in Ferrari with the 10s. On some bullet shit, stop crying, start buying, getting bags. I ain't lying, money multiplying, call it rocket science. I'm so tired of this crypto control. You already know, basing letting money go. Swimming in the dough as you see gets exposed. Tomorrow's the day we gon' blow. I
appreciate you guys. We're going to get up out of here. See you guys mañana. Until next time. Peace. Greatest family on planet Earth. EARF. Yeah.